All right, so happy new year to you guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be breaking down price action, just like I do all the time. In fact, my last video said that I was done with Forex. I think if you watch to the end, you would know that I wasn't actually done with Forex, but I was done with Forex trading for 2025, right? So we are in a new year, and I believe this is going to be very beautiful and massive. And so, if you're not subscribed to this channel, do well to hit that subscribe button because I'll be sharing some insane stuff on the channel this year, okay? And I'm starting with this weekend breakdown, which I usually do, okay? So real quick, I'm going to start with my favorite pair, which is Euro USD, and I'm going to start with the higher time frame. Now, whether you are looking at monthly or whatever, price action has not really changed like that. Okay. So to me, I'm still going to start from the daily time frame. And currently on Euro USD, okay, we have this last low that created my high. So daily, we have a bullish price action. Okay. And personally, I'm looking for price to like make a move all the way to at least this high over here, and maybe we can go beyond, or after clearing this high then we can make a retracement. So that is what I'm looking at on the daily time frame. So having identified my low, then my high, this becomes like my focus leg, okay, my trading range. Now after I've done that, I need to find out what the internal structure is also telling me. And so right here on the internal structure, I can see that this was the clearest high that created a low right in here, and this guy has been taken out. And also, if that is the case, then this is going to be my low that created my high. So these are my recent internal swing legs within this bullish daily leg that I have shown. Okay. So with that being said, I am going to mark this low and mark that high as well. Now we all can see that after this broke, when price broke this structural point over here, you can consider this guy as a decisional POY. This guy over here, you can consider that as a decisional POY, even though I can see price kind of rejecting it. But personally, I think when we step onto lower time frames, I'll be looking for something like uh, an inducement of this low before we can push all the way to the top. That's what I will be expecting actually. But then let's maintain this. So this is going to be my decisional POY, and this is going to be an origin POY. Very simple. You don't need to stress yourself. Now, as I have done this, I need to find out what the internal structure is also saying within this low to this high. And clearly, we all can see a low that created a high, a low that created this last high, and then this last low that created this high, which means that we have just this guy over here to deal with. Okay, in fact, even though I've taken a couple of trades in 2026, if I bring you to, let's say, Euro USD, my original chart, you are going to see that I have taken some good trades. Okay, 15-minute time frame. Yeah, these are the trades. Not this one. This one is not bad. Okay, all these were tests. I started trading from here, 6th of January. So this is a very good trade which I took on Euro USD. I think I shared it on Instagram. All right. Good. So even if I go to like let's say the daily time frame, you realize that I still have this low marked over there. It's because I know that it is going to be what a structural point that I need to look at. Okay, so this is going to be my last low that created my last high. Once I have this particular price action, I forget about everything and I focus on just this low to this high. So with that being said, I can step onto H4 and find out what is happening inside, right? So right on the H4 time frame, what can we also see? Like visible structural point, we can have a low that created a high, and then another low. We can see we went above this guy over here, right? So that is another high, and currently we've broken this low. So we also have this one, and then this retracement high, and currently this is going to be the last one. So once again, what I can do is that I can put a line over here. This is just to tell me that if price doesn't go above, or if we don't break this last point, we are never heading to the top, which means that price can do, let's say, something like this, return to this point, and continue the move to the downside. I like to treat price action in chunks so that I'll be able to work freely, okay, without any obstacles. All right. So in here, I can see that this is going to be my last high and this is going to be my last low. So this is going to be again my focus leg. Okay. So once I've spotted this, I now want to step onto the intraday time frame. But before I step onto the intraday time frame, with price breaking to the downside like this, it means that we can expect a retracement to at least this point of interest over here, okay, or maybe these areas over here as decisional POI. Now, once I have this, I can now move on to intraday. I don't need to stress myself. So intraday, this is what I have over here. Now, again, in as much as we are looking at this is why I said I could expect price to, like, take out this decisional POI before we can make a move. It's simply because if you're watching here, you realize that the order flow is super bearish. Okay, even though the higher time frame is showing like bullish pressure on the daily, but intraday we are super bearish. All right. So in here we can see we have what do you call it? A high created a low, high, like that. We are just dropping all the way to the downside. Okay, price hasn't shown any bullish sign. Even when the news was released, you can see we didn't go above it, so it's still bearish. All right. Now, what it means for me is that I'm going to have this high marked. This is going to be my last referral point for sellers. Now, when the market opens, these are the stuff that I'm going to look for. These are the possible setups and scenarios that I will be looking for. First things first, let me quickly draw this one over here. So first things first, when the market opens, what I want to see is that I can have a situation where price, in fact, when we did the high and the low, when we broke, you can see that we've already come back to tap into this POI. We've already tapped into it, even though we can still have price coming back to make like a complex pullback before we make a move to the downside. Okay, so because we are bearish, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to monitor price closely. Okay, if we don't take out this high, there is no way I'm going to look for buys. If I'm going to take any buys, it's going to be short term, like on lower time frames, quick scalps, okay, for quick buys. But apart from that, I am going to be focusing on sales until this high is gone, or until, let's say, price does something like this. Let's say we create a new high which goes to create a new low like this. Then this is going to be my reference point for buyers. Alright. So right in here, first scenario that we can look at, because intraday is bearish, we can have price making the move all the way to clear this low over here, which is going to be my intraday low. And personally, I want to see the higher time frame low that we drew. If you guys remember, that decisional point, the last point of the decisional POI, this guy, I want to see it taken out. Personally, that's me. I want to see it taken out before we can make any move. Okay, so that is what I'll be expecting. I'll be expecting that move to the downside, and then once we've cleared it, I can now look for what counter trend trade. Okay, buys to the top. The reason why I'm calling it a counter trend trade is because these what do you call it, points are still showing bearish signs, so I need to respect that. So in this case, when price makes the move like this, okay, then it means that this is going to be my last high that created my last low. Okay, so if I want any buy confirmations, what I'll be expecting is that I want to see price. If we do the first one like this, I want to see price go above this guy nicely, and then we can now continue the buys all the way to the top. That is the only scenario when I'll be looking for buys, when this high is taken out. Very simple. Another scenario will be we may not necessarily have price going to take out the traditional POIs low, which I was talking about. Instead, price will just, let's say we make open the market, and then we are just going to have a break like this. And then after the break, we can get like a retracement, and then we can continue all the way to the top. Now, these retracements can be very deep or shallow. Okay, we can have price list after breaking this guy. It's going to make a deeper retracement, sorry, a shallow retracement, and then we're going to continue to move to the top, or we can make a deeper one, and then even sometimes coming down to induce this low like this before we can continue the move to the upside. But all the same, I personally, I want to see this low taken out. So that is what I will be expecting on Euro USD. Super simple. I don't need to stress myself. Then to the twin of Euro USD, which is going to be GBP USD. Again, I'm going to start from the higher time frame and I'm going to clear my chart. So real quick, again on GBP USD, I am looking at this POY. There is a POY here. I think price has already kissed it. Okay. So right in here, this is going to be my last low. All right. That created my last high. Okay. And so normally I like to use lines so that my chart will be clean. I don't like so many drawings on my chart. So let me have this as a POY. Okay. From the daily time frame. So I'm expecting price on the higher time frame. Let me show you something real quick. So right in here, this is what we have. We have first things first, this high, this one, this guy over here, which created this low. Why? Because we broke structure right in here. But in the higher time frame, we are bullish. Okay, we're having like a low that created a high, a low that created this high. So whatever is happening here is a complex pullback. So what I'm looking for is for price to continue like that to the top. Okay, but then we can have this guy being watched. Okay, for like a little reaction, sometimes no reaction. Okay, yeah, little or no reaction. This was September. Let me see. Yeah, so this guy will give us a little to no reaction, this POY over here, because I personally want to see price do that. Sorry, I want to see price make that move like this to at least this point and then continue to the top. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at from the higher time frame. But currently, this is going to be my low that created my high. Very, very simple. Go to the H4 time frame and you're not going to see anything different. Why? Because this is the last low that created the internal high. Okay, the internal low that created the internal high, and we've made that what do you call it, internal break or structure to the downside, and then we've also tapped into that daily POY. Very, very simple, which means that the only thing left for us is to see what the intraday will say in this area. In case the intraday signals a buy, then we can just look for price to do that nicely. Okay, so now this is going to be my last low, my last high that created my last low. Now I'm going to step onto intraday and see what price has to say. So on the intraday on GBP USD, very, very clear. This is the what? The last intraday high. All right, very, very simple. That created the last intraday low. It's just similar story to what do you call it, Euro USD. So in this case, if I want to take any buys, because I'm mostly bullish, right, because of the higher time frame direction, but then if I want to take any solid buys, I want to see price go and take this high like this nicely, then we can now continue nicely. When this one is taking out confirmation, yes, I'm good to go. Okay, but just like what do you call it, Euro USD, these are some scenarios that we can have. We can have a situation where price will make one last push like this to clear this low before we can start any move. Now, if price is coming up like this, even though I can see this guy over here, which could act as my last reference point for sellers, what can happen is that price will just take it out and then still tap into this guy and move to the downside. That is why I personally want to use this high as my reference point, unless let's say price goes deeper. Let's say we make a move like this, go deeper and create a similar size leg compared to this previous one. Let's say we have something like this, then that one I'm going to use this, okay, as my high, where price will just break and then we can continue the move all the way to the downside. Okay, so if you want to look for buys on GBP USD and Euro USD, trust me, you just have to be looking at these reference points. The moment they go out, we are good to go. We will just be buying, 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 buying. We have more room to the top. Okay, everything is just bullish. Just that intraday has not aligned yet. So the moment we clear the highs and price has told us that we are good to go, why not? We are going to shoot all the way to at least even this high over here. Very, very simple. So this is what I'm looking at on these two pairs. As for gold, for some time now, I've not been watching gold because of how it is moving. Personally, I don't have anything to say on gold. Okay, probably this guy. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Gold, nah, I don't have anything special on gold. The only thing I can say is that we can have a reaction. First, I have no idea, but I don't want to talk about gold right now because of the price action. Now, it's not favorable to me and my system. So I'll just be focusing on GBP USD and Euro USD, just like I have shared with you guys. I hope you found value in this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, leave a like and a comment in the comment section. I'll see you within the week with another insightful video. Super, super simple. Cheers.